Deschenes, Solution Architect at Veracode. Luke, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Where do you see opportunities, the greatest opportunities for automation in the DevSecOps community?
Yeah, when we're talking about the federal space, the biggest area that I see automation in DevSecOps has to be, the three major factors: continuous integration into the SDLC while providing secure remediation and visibility into your software supply chain. And the way that Veracode does that, a couple of different things is, especially into the CI/CD systems, is we want companies to be able to go ahead and roll out fast automated scans, be able to give their developers information without having to go ahead and jump through loops.
Mm-hmm. Integrating automation into systems requires what kind of prep work, what kind of behind the scenes or early start work?
Yeah, it requires basically zero to no actual interaction. It's just a marketplace integration majority of the time. And all it's needed is just, hey, do we have active Veracode credentials that we can go ahead and start utilizing this tool?
Mm-hmm. What are the benefits that people see right off the bat with automation, and what are the benefits that they see further down the road?
Yeah, one of the main benefits people see right off the bat is visibility into their actual risk and vulnerabilities that are in the code that they're producing for applications. And then down the risk, down a little bit later on in their life cycle, some of the big things that they see is reduction in median time to remediate flaws and security debt definitely going down over time.
Are the vulnerabilities that people discover, are there common threads among those, or is it dependent on the application that people are trying to solve for, or that kind of thing?
Yeah, so when we're starting to talk about, the most common vulnerabilities that organizations see, it all depends on their language that they're using. The majority of federal agencies primarily use .NET, so a big one in there could be SQL injection or cross-site scripting. Our most prevalent CWEs that we see organizations have in their organization.
Mm-hmm. How does remediation benefit from the automation tools that you talked about a moment ago?
Yeah, remediation benefits very well within automation because, as developers are starting to commit code to different branches in their pipelines, they want insight into, hey, are we actually meeting our organization's, policy structure? Is there a specific policy against OWASP Top 10, PCI, and other federal compliance that they might be trying to reach for their applications at a organization level? It gives the developers insight into where they actually need to address and fix vulnerabilities and prioritize.
Are those vulnerabilities the only thing where visibility is valuable in this chain, or are there other things that organizations benefit from by having visibility into what's going on?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different things when they're starting to see the visibility all the way from the flaws down to open source libraries. That's a big thing that we're starting to see. As developers don't want to reinvent the wheel, they're starting to use third-party packages, but being able to, create SBOMs, be able to share with federal compliance of, hey, we're utilizing these specific packages, it gives them that visibility to understand, not just their source code and the flaws that they're introducing by writing, but even with the third-party packages that they're actually starting to pull and incorporate into their applications, where that risk is.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. You mentioned compliance, and it strikes me that since a lot of these folks are on two tracks, they actually want to make sure their systems are secure, but they also have compliance markers that they need to hit. That visibility is really important to help them hit both at the same time.
Yes, most definitely. And what Veracode does very well is, anytime that you're able, or you have developers actually committing code changes, you can start to create security gates for the security individuals saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and block this pull request because it's not meeting our policy at an organization level. That tells the developer even earlier on, hey, we need to actually go ahead and fix this. And they can go ahead and do that all the way down into their IDE with our integrations.
Luke, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.